Good morning to all. This is M. Visalakshi, Professor R. Sudha, Assistant Professor, Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering in Tandai Periyar Government Institute of Technology. Welcome to e-learning class, and in this video lecture we are going to see about the circuit breakers, what are the requirements, actions present in circuit breaker, different type of circuit breakers and its operation. So first of all, we'll see the introduction of circuit breaker. It will mainly make or break a circuit either manually or automatically under different conditions. So whenever any fault occurs in power system, then that part of the system must be isolated from the remaining part of the system. So this is mainly done by the circuit breaker. So circuit breaker means break or make a circuit either manually or automatically under different condition, means no load condition, full load condition or short circuit. So this is to be an effective device for switching and protection of different part of the power system. In older days, fuse are to be used, included in the protective system, but due to some limitations, they are not used in this upcoming. So main difference of fuse and circuit breaker under fault condition means fuse will melt and it is to be replaced, where the circuit breaker can close or break the circuit without replacement. So circuit breaker make or break the circuit without any replacement. Some requirements are there in circuit breaker. Normal working current and short circuit current must be safely interrupted by the circuit breaker. The fault section of the system must be isolated by the circuit breaker. It should not operate with a flow of current during health conditions. And this fault circuit only must be isolated without affecting the other parts. So this is your diagram of a circuit breaker, which consists of a contact, two contacts. One is fixed contact and another one is moving contact. So it is represented here. So this is my fixed contact and this is my moving contact. So this red color line represents my moving contact, and handle is attached at the end of the moving contact. So this is my handle. So this is from the moving contact. It can operate manually or automatically. So the automatic operation needs separate mechanism which consists of a trip coil. So here it is, your trip coil is here. Here is your trip coil. So this is energized by the secondary of the current transformer. Okay. So the terminals of the circuit breakers are brought to the supply. So here it is brought to the supply. When it is in normal working condition, EMF will be produced in the secondary winding of the transformer to energize the trip coil completely for the operation. So this contact remains in closed position carrying the normal current. So the contacts can be opened manually also by using this handle, which is connected from the moving contact. Under abnormal or fault condition, high current and primary windings of the current transformer will have high induced EMF in secondary winding. So the trip coil will be energized. So this will start opening the contact. So this not be instantaneous, as a time lag between the energization of the trip circuit and actual opening of the contacts. So the contacts are moved towards the right away from the fixed contact. Okay. So here the production of the delay the current interruption, and it produces large amount of heat which may damage the system or the breakers. So the time interval which is passed between the energization of the trip coil to the contact separation is called the opening time. So it is mainly depends on the fault current level. So the time interval from the contact separation to the extension of arc is called arcing time. Mainly it does not depends only on the fault current, but availability of voltage for the maintenance of arc. So this is the operation of the circuit breaker, And here it is some of the types of circuit breakers. MCB, miniature circuit breaker, MCCB, molded case circuit breaker, are for low and medium voltage applications. So here according to the arc extension, it is divided as ACB, R-blast circuit breaker, oil breaker, sulfur hexafluoride circuit breaker, vacuum circuit breaker. And this mainly based on the arc extension, and this is mainly based on the pressurized air. Oil circuit breaker mainly for transformer oil, and sulfur oxide as arc extension, and vacuum used as a medium for arc extension. These are some of the type of circuit breakers. R-blast circuit breaker. So here, as we already discussed, this circuit breaker, the compressed air is used for the arc extension. Its voltage is ranging from 11 to 1100 kV, and here the operating using the high voltage blast of air which quenches the arc, and some are blast valve, blast tube and contacts. So these are the air blast. So coming to the blast tube, which carries the air at high pressure and opens moving contacts attached to the spring. No carbonization of the surface as in vacuum circuit breaker, VCB, and the air should be kept clean and dry to operate it properly. So this is the circuit diagram of the air blast circuit breaker. Elevation and both end view as given. So at the bottom of the tank, so this is your one pole of an extra large high voltage air blast circuit breaker. This is your overall diagram of circuit breaker, air blast circuit breaker. So here number has been there. So first number 1, okay, so here the 1 number representing the tank, air reservoir, and number 2 representing the insulating assembly, and operating rod, enclosure, resistance switching unit. So see, these are some of the parts assembled in arc blast circuit breaker. So at the top there is a tank which is called air reservoir with the valve. So there are having 3 hollow insulator columns. On top each insulator there will be a double arc extension chamber. The current carrying parts are connected to the arc extension chamber in series, and the assembly of entire chamber is mounted on insulator. So here it can be viewed in our circuit diagram. So each circuit breaker are 6 breaks, as they are 3 double arc poles, extension poles, which is in series connection. Each extension chamber consists of 2 fixed and 2 moving contacts. So this can move axially as to open or close. So this position mainly depends on air pressure and spring pressure. The opening rod is operated by the opening mechanism when it gets control the signal. So here, due to the flow of air pressure and moving contact, increase the spring pressure and the contact will open. When the air is passed to the atmosphere, due to which the pressure of air in the chamber is dropped, and also it will close the moving contact because it has achieved the spring pressure. So during the opening operation, air will be closed to enter into the chamber, which push away the moving contact. So this are separated, and blast of air will be take ionized gases with it, and it helps in the extinguishing the arc. So this will require only 1 to 2 cycles. So 2 different types are there. One is axial blast type, cross blast type, radial blast type. So these are the different type of cross air blast circuit breaker. For cross blast circuit breaker, the flow of air is across the arc. So the moving contact will be near to the arc splitter, and this force the arc on arc splitter plates. This plate will lengthen the arc, So depending on the capacity of the breaker, the size and number of plates are decided. So this fixed contact is mounted at the base between the two insulating blocks. It consists of number of silver surfaced spring loaded copper fingers. So resistance switching is not required, and it is automatically introduced in the arc to control the restraining transient. So these are some of the type of air blast circuit breaker. And coming to the advantages of this type: high speed operation comparing with the oil circuit breaker, ability to withstand frequent switching, facility for high speed reclosure, less maintenance comparing with the oil circuit breaker. And for disadvantages: little moisture content, pressure should be checked frequently for the frequent operations. It can't be used for high voltage operation due to the arc quenching. Application: it is mainly preferred for the arc furnace and traction systems, and there is operating range of 132 kV to 400 kV with a capacity, breaking capacity of up to 700 megawatt amperes VA. So these are some of the applications, advantages and disadvantages of air blast circuit breaker. Coming to air brake circuit breaker, it is mainly the atmospheric pressure air used as an arc extinguishing medium. The main principle of this is high resistance interruption is employed for this type of breaker. So length of the arc is increased using arc runner, which will increase the resistance so that the voltage drop across the arc becomes more than the supply voltage and arc will be extinguished. So this type is used both for AC as well as DC up to 12 kilovolt. Normally indoor type and installed on the vertical panels. So this lengthening will be done with the help of your magnetic field. So some ranges are given for the type of breaker is 460 to 3.3 kilovolt based on the material using. Okay, so these are the two set of contacts, main contact and arcing contact is there. So this is the circuit diagram of the air brake circuit breakers. Main contact is mainly a closed and silver, and arcing contact hard, and it is used for the copper alloy. So they are having low resistance with silver plating. So arc runners are provided at one end of the arcing contact. So upper side arc splitter plates are provided. So coming to the working, whenever the fault occurs, the tripping signal makes the contacts to open. So whenever the arc is struck between the contact, the surrounding air gets ionized, and this is then cooled to reduce the diameter of the arc core. So my contact closed, it means, so the diagram will be like this. So here the current is flowing, and this is your contact fixed diagram. So this is your contact. So this is my contact closed. Suppose the contact is separated, means this will be separated and arc will be produced. So the waveform will be like this. So an ionized gas will be there. Okay, so when I am splitting this contact, an arc will be there and ionized gas. So contact are separated. So the current in then shifted to the arcing contacts. So it starts separating, and arc between them is forced upward by the electromagnetic force and thermal action. So due to the lengthening and the cooling, arc resistance increases, which reduces the fault current, and it will not allow to reach the particular value. The current 0 point in AC will help the arc extension. So whenever the arc leaves the contact, it is passed through the arc runner will be with the help of blowout coils, which produce a magnetic field, due to which it will experience a force. So which will be the formula, F will be equal to B L I. So this is based on the electromagnetic theory. Moving the arc upward, so magnetic field produced will be insufficient to extinguish the arc. Okay, so for high inductance circuits, it is not extinguished while traveling through the arc runner. Then it passes through the arc splitter where it is cooled. So this will make the deionization by removing the heat from the arc. So this is what your air blast circuit breaker. Coming to the SF6 sulfur hexafluoride circuit breaker, is the gas is inserted and thermally stable, and this is also an electronegative gas and has a strong tendency to absorb the free electrons. So this remains in gaseous state up to the temperature of 9 degrees Celsius, and its intensity is about 5 times that of the air. So the contact of the breakers are opened in high pressure flow of SF6 gas, and arc is stuck between them. So the conducting electrons from the arc are captured. So here the circuit diagram is given here, and conducting electron develops a strength of insulation which will extinguish the arc. So several type of SF6 are designed by various manufacturer. The property of this is that the gas liquefies at certain low temperature. So this can be increased with the pressure, and gas is commercially manufactured. So the gas prepared by the burning crushed or rolled sulfur in fluorine gas in a steel box. So this is a gas tight. After the chemical reaction takes place in this particular box, the SF6 gas obtained containing the impurity in form of fluoride, that is S2F10 or SF4. This must be purified before it is supplied. So the dielectric strength of SF6 gas at any pressure will be more than that of the air. So when gas comes in contact with the electric arc, the decomposition are small and dielectric strength is reduced, and the metallic fluoride that formed will be a good insulator, and it will not affect the breakers. So this is the explanation of SF6. And here some properties are there, physical, chemical and dielectric properties also there. And here this is your non-puffer, means single puffer type, single pressure SF6. So here this mainly based on the principle of SF6 circuit breakers, and the mechanism is installed at the base of the insulator and linked with the moving contact in the interrupter by means of insulating rod and a link mechanism. The circuit breaker is filled with SF6 gas at a pressure of 5 kg. The breaking time obtained with this may be nearly 3 cycles. So this is your, in case the gas is compressed by the moving cylinder and it is released through the nozzle while the extension of arc is given. Suppose it is fully a closed position, the cylinder will coupled with the moving contact. So here this is your moving contact. So this is your moving contact to against the fixed position. So there will be a relative motion between the movable cylinder and fixed position. So gas will be compressed in the cavity. So that gas released through the nozzle hole during arc extension process. During the travel of moving contact, and the cylinder gets puffed over the arc. So this reduces the arc diameter by axial conversion and radial dissipation. At current 0, the diameter becomes too small. So this is what your single pressure buffer type of SF6 circuit breaker. Coming to double pressure, gas from high pressure system is released into low pressure system. How? Through the nozzle. So this is your nozzle during the arc extension process. So in the circuit breaker, gas is made to flow from the zone P1. So this is my P1 to P2, P1 to P2 through the divergent nozzle. Okay, so through this it will be moving. So this is located so that the flow of gas covers the arc. So gas flow attain almost the speed. So this takes place the heat from the arc causing the reduction in diameter of the arc. So finally the arc diameter becomes 0 at the current 0 and it gets extinguished. So the arc space is filled with a fresh SF6 gas which increase the dielectric strength of the contact space. So this is your double pressure temperature. Coming to the advantage of this type of circuit breaker, no risk of fire, it can interrupt much larger current as comparing with the other circuit breakers, no over voltage problem, low maintenance, no overload voltage problem. Coming to the disadvantages, a sealing problem arises due to the type of construction, imperfect joint lead to leakage of gases, presence of moisture in the system will be very dangerous, and internal parts should be cleaned thoroughly during the periodic maintenance and dry environment. SF6 are costly as high cost of SF6 gas, and gas is to be reconditioned after every operation and additional equipment is to be required for the same system also. And SF6 is a poison and it should not be inhaled. So these are some of the disadvantages. And coming to the application of this type, each unit is capable of interrupting current up to 60 kiloamps and voltage of range 50 to 80 voltage. Number of units are connected in series according to the system voltage. So this can develop the voltage range of 115 to 500 kilowatt and power may be a 10 megawatt VA to 20 ratings with the interrupting time of 3 cycles, and it can be reduced also. So these are some of the type of circuit breakers we saw in this video. Thank you for